Welcome to San Joaquin Spotlight, a public affairs program featuring conversations about life in the central San Joaquin Valley. This program is brought to you in partnership between KFSR 90.7 FM and CMAC Fresno. I'm your host, Sevag Tateosian. Today our guest is Mary Gant Bell, and she's here talking about oils and how oils have a therapeutic value. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I was reading this and I smiled because, I get headaches, and my grandpa would always tell me, rub some vinegar on your forehead, rub some vinegar on your forehead. Now, I don't know if that works or not, but I thought, Grandpa, what are you talking about? And then I read the background on oils and how they can help, and I thought, maybe Grandpa was right.
Grandpa was right.
Talk about what you do with these oils.
What I do with the oils addresses physical health issues, mental health issues, emotional health issues, the whole gamut. I believe that your body is one complete system made up of 3 separate parts, and it all is interconnected. It all works together. If you're having a problem, let's say you're having cluster headaches, for example.
Yes, that's me. I get cluster headaches.
It impacts your sleep. Not having enough sleep impacts your mood. Not having a good mood impacts your business. It's all connected. So if we can get rid of those cluster headaches by helping to align your body and use the essential oils like along your spine to help detox the nerves in your spine, use the essential oils to help relax your muscles. There are other essential oils that will help flush out a lot of if you've ever had surgery or x-rays and those kinds of things, there's residual trash and toxins in your system. And the oils can help flush all of that out.
So instead of someone saying, taking a medicine, over-the-counter medicine, prescription medicine, you kind of are promoting oils to help relieve some pain.
Exactly. Relieves pain, relieve any kinds of, just natural healing. A lot of times there are prescription drugs that we take for a symptom. The therapeutic grade essential oils will target the cause of what's happening, not just the symptom. So you can get real healing from the essential oils instead of just getting the symptom covered up.
Does this really help? I mean, as I'm looking at the table, there's a bottle of rosemary oil. Now, rosemary oil, does that really help with certain things?
Absolutely. A lot of the things that happen inside of our body are symptoms caused by inflammation in something, some system of our body, our digestive system, our spines, some kind of system in our body might have inflammation. It causes other things to happen. Some people might call that arthritis. Some people might call that fibromyalgia. Some people have even called it lupus. So the therapeutic grade essential oils are going to target the cause of that. The other difference is that a lot of those over-the-counter things and a lot of prescription drugs are going to, they're going to mask the cause, and they're also kind of going to mess up your organs. They're also going to create an artificial environment in your body. Therapeutic grade essential oils are going to help your body to work naturally and to function and to produce those things naturally, so that you don't need to take a synthetic or to just take an additive.
I can imagine these go back far if my grandpa and the vinegar, which I keep using, but that's the example that I remember because it just happened the other day. I imagine these things go back far. Talk about how long people have been using oils for stuff.
Well, I have a video that I've done called Ancient Oils, and it talks about all the history behind where they're mentioned. There's a well-documented and preserved medical journal from Europe from the 1100s that talks about using oils for medicinal purposes. And then there's, of course, the Bible, where they talk about oils in the Bible, and Jesus got frankincense. The Egyptians used frankincense long before that as well. There's just multiple ancient documentations that have been found that show that essential oils were used for medicinal purposes.
Are we talking about somebody rubbing themselves with oil? I mean, is it rubbing oil, or is it just oil that we can smell? And I ask you the question because Right now in the studio, I smell something very nice. I don't know what it is, but for our audience members listening or watching, I wish that they could also smell the program because it smells great in here. So what am I smelling?
What you're smelling is the oils that I rubbed on the back of my neck a little bit earlier. I was having a little bit of stress earlier today over something, and so I rubbed some oils on the back of my neck. That's probably what you're smelling.
And it helped you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So some of this stuff
Do I
you
look stressed to you?
No, you look very comfortable. Some of this you rub on you, but is there some that you just let, open the cap and let the air go in the air?
Diffuse.
Diffuse.
Yes.
That's the word for it,
That's the
diffuse.
word,
All right.
diffuse.
I learned a new word today.
Yes.
I'm going to use that tonight too, diffuse.
I have a brand new diffuser. You love it. It's it goes in a USB port, and you put the oil in, and then you stick it in your computer anywhere you go. And you can have it diffusing in the room anywhere you are, a hotel room, your office, your home. It's a really cool little thing, and it fits in your purse. Well, it fits in your pocket. And other ways to diffuse them are you can buy cool diffusers that diffuse them. Some look like humidifiers and diffuse with water. Another way you can diffuse them is to just simply take a cotton ball and put it anywhere where the sun shines. And the natural heat from the sun will diffuse it in your room as well.
When do you think that people should use this? I mean, when is it that, like take for instance, someone like me, when should I open that rosemary bottle and, diffuse it?
Beforehand.
Okay.
Essential oils are a preventative type thing. And if you're taking care of yourself before you get the cluster headaches, before flu season, you're using the essential oils to build your immune system and make it strong, don't wait till you're already sick. Don't wait till you're already having the symptoms.
What kind of oils are there out there? I mean, you have two that are on the table now, but what else is out there?
Oh, there's all kinds. The oils that I have here today, this rosemary and marjoram are great for inflammation. I was going to mention too, another thing that we do with oils to diffuse them is a lot of oils too. You can just take and just fling it.
Great.
And just fling it out in the room and, and get that smell. Peppermint is a good one to fling around because peppermint gives you an energy boost.
So for example, the rosemary, what is it used for? I mean, what does it prevent or, talk about what you use this for.
Rosemary I like best for inflammation, and it helps internal inflammation, or topical too. Like if you have a bruise or a bump or something that gets inflamed, or you've just got some swelling, you can rub rosemary on, or you can ingest it to help with those things that cause internal. A lot of oils are antibacterial. There's oils that are antiviral, oils that are antiparasitic. There are even oils that are antitumoral. So, and also, again, oils that help with building your immune system so you don't get sick.
How does it work? Is it the smell that people, feel better when they do, or is it just touching your hand? I mean, how does that work?
No, it works at a cellular level.
Okay.
So it can actually change at a cellular level. There are oils, too, that they talk about how ingesting these particular oils can help with killing the things that cancer feeds on in your body. So if the food, if the things, and the toxins and things in your body that cancer feeds off of are gone, the cancer can't grow.
In Fresno, is this a new thing? Because, I've done hundreds of these shows, and I've never had someone talking about essential oils. Is this a new thing?
For me, no. In Fresno as a whole, I think that people in Fresno are shown an interest and are more in tune to essential oils for aromatherapy, which is not the same thing as a therapeutic grade essential oil for medicinal purposes. So aromatherapy is nice, and we all like things to smell pretty. But the therapeutic grade essential oils that I use are more medicinal and that probably is more of a new thing in this area.
Where do people buy this? I mean, is it going to be at the liquor store down the street, or is it going to be at the, Save Mart down the street?
No, it's not. There are oils, there are some nice health food stores here in town that do sell oils. However, you need to be very careful about what you're ingesting and read the label very carefully. If it says don't ingest, then don't ingest it. The thing that I love about, I only use Young Living essential oils, and these bottles are Young Living. I only use Young Living because Young Living as a company has a seed to seal promise. They actually plant the seeds in the ground. They plant the rosemary. They own all the distilleries. They own all the packaging plants, and they own that seed from the time it's planted till the time it hits that bottle. And so I know I can trust it's pure, it's not diluted, because a lot of companies take one drop of rosemary, one pure drop of rosemary, put it in a bottle of pure carrier oil, and they sell it as pure rosemary, which is true. It's pure rosemary, but it's diluted. So the FDA doesn't regulate the wording on those bottles, and so people can pretty much say anything they want on their bottles. But Young Living as a company, I know, owns their fields, and I know that they own it from beginning to end.
So do I need a prescription for this? I mean, how does it work,
No.
and where does the government stand on this? Do they regulate it?
The government does not regulate it at this time, and hopefully they never will. And I'm sure our grandmothers are saying the same thing. It's like, why would the government regulate something that anybody could grow in their backyard?
And so it's the oil. So I'm wondering what the process is to make the oil on something. I mean,
Exactly.
it looks like this is pure because the smell in here is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting to work with a company that has that high quality, and they're committed to making a pure product. I would also caution people that if they're in the health food store and they pick up a bottle of essential oils that has any kind of alcohol in it at all, don't ingest it. So that's one thing you need to be very careful of. And always, if you're taking any kind of supplements or any kind of vitamins, make sure you read the other ingredients portion of the label.
How did you get involved in this?
I had a girlfriend of mine who was using them, and she was very healthy. And I kind of got talking to her one day and said, what's going on? What are you using? How are you doing this? And she said, let me tell you how. And I said, okay, that's whacked. I was just thinking it was just a little too far off left field for me. So I started doing some research into oils in general and the therapeutic grade essential oils specifically. And then I thought, well, I've done enough research and now I need to just give it a try. So I picked like one or two at that time and tried them. And I like to rub them on. For me, I like to rub them on. Some people like to put them in the little capsules and ingest them. Other people like to diffuse them. All of that works. All of it's effective. And so I thought, I'm going to start slow, and I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And just amazing, wonderful thing happened.
And then how do you know so much about it? I mean, is there a school you went to? Did you research it?
No, I haven't gone to any particular school. I just study, and experiment. There are aromatherapy schools, but again, aromatherapy is not the same thing as therapeutic grade essential oils.
So my healthcare provider, the doctor can prescribe me certain medicine, and I'll go to Walgreens and get the medicine, and it's covered. I pay a deductible, but, I get the medicine. Does this get covered by health insurance?
No, this is not covered by health insurance.
Interesting. So, I mean, what's your goal with this? Is to just get it out to as many people as possible, or talk about why you're involved in this so much?
Well, part of the reason why I'm involved in it is because it works. And I believe in it. I'm alive, aren't I? I'm a living example that it works. And the other reason is I think that people need to understand that there are options. And that when they have health issues, when they have emotional traumas and things, there are options. Because I see people all the time in my office that come in for craniosacral work, and they say to me, but my doctor said I don't have a choice. And a lot of times, we always have a choice. Not all of our choices are good choices. But the fact that people are telling somebody, you don't have a choice about what you do with your body, it just sits wrong with me. So I think that people need to know that they have an option, And there are many different options for many different things. Some things, Western medicine is the best option there is, and for other things, other alternatives are a better option. So people need to know both sides, and they need to know all of their options, not just a limited range of their options.
You just mentioned something that I want to talk about, craniosacral. Talk about what that is.
Craniosacral therapy is a light touch type of work that I do, and it helps. All of us in our heads have like a sack of fluid that goes around your brain, goes all the way down your spine, all the way to your tailbone, nourishing all of the nerves along your spine. And if that fluid for any reason gets stuck or blocked or doesn't flowing evenly and properly, then it's going to impact your nerves. It's going to impact the way that your body naturally detoxes and flushes things out. It also can change the pressure in your head so that the plates in your skull are not aligned properly, causing cluster headaches.
Interesting.
Yes. So what I can do is readjust that cranial fluid and readjust the bones and the plates in your head and get all of your bones and get all of your parts and your spine and your sacrum and your pelvic bones just all dancing in harmony together.
And when it's dancing in harmony, then how do you feel?
You feel fabulous. You feel great. You feel relieved. You feel like you're healthy again. You feel you can move again. You start sleeping again. You stop being crabby. That low level kind of, I don't feel sick enough to go to the doctor, but now I finally feel like myself again.
As I'm smelling this, I'm thinking of bath salt, and I'm thinking of someone putting bath salt in the bathtub and laying in there for 20 minutes, whatever. Do you think that it's kind of the same idea? I mean, something in here smells like bath salt.
I think a nice soothing bath. The one I like to use in the bath is lavender.
Okay.
Lavender is very healing for your skin. Somebody who has dry skin, itchy skin, just put 2 or 3 drops. And again, these oils are very concentrated. You don't need a lot. Put a couple of drops in your bath and your skin will just feel baby smooth when you come out.
What is something like this cost? I mean, don't give us the price of this particular product on the table, but, generally speaking, if I go to the health store and I'm looking for essential oils, how much money should I take with me?
Okay, first of all, if you want to use therapeutic grade essential oils for medicinal purposes, don't go to the health food store.
Okay.
Call me.
Okay.
Second of all, you need to think about it in terms of preventative health. These are very concentrated. If the bottle seems expensive to you, know that it's going to last you 6 months. And the other thing to remember is that it's cheaper than a copay. It's cheaper than having surgery because your liver conked out. It's cheaper than all the tests that they run to even get to a point where they're going to tell you. And it's cheaper than the stress of having to deal with ongoing medical issues. So to me, the cost, yeah, you have to pay for them. Of course, they cost money. The cost, though, is worth it.
What's the drawback of this? Can this cause a reaction somehow?
No, because they're all natural. If they don't help you, if you feel like they didn't do you any good, they're not going to do you any harm. They're all natural. If your body can't use them, they just come right out.
But, I mean, some people may have a reaction to them. I mean, I don't want to sit up here and say, oh, it's just peachy, and once you take some of this oil, you're going to feel great and jump 1,000 feet or whatever. I mean, it could cause a negative.
I've never jumped 1,000 feet.
It could cause negative things to your body, or can it not?
No, I don't think that they can. I think that they can be benign, but can they be harmful? No. Some people, there are some certain oils that are hot oils that, are more sensitive to your skin, that some people might develop a rash or something from them. Some oils you have to be like oregano is a good option. If you rub oregano on your skin, you have to be very careful about, some people have to dilute them. There are some oils that are photosensitive.
Interesting.
That you shouldn't use them on your skin if you're going to be outside.
As you're mentioning all these things, I have a rack at home with all of these items we use for cooking. So it's very interesting that instead of using it for cooking, people are using it to, put on their body, and people are using
But I use them in my cooking too. I do. I don't buy the powdered stuff in that I don't know how long it's been sitting in the grocery store shelf anymore.
So this very thing you can also use for cooking.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Baking too, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, all of that. Oh, I have a fabulous wassail recipe, like an apple juice kind of recipe that has all these essential, and you get the health benefits, and it tastes great. One little drop. I like basil in my scrambled eggs.
Interesting.
Yes. So yeah, you can use all of these, and they're a lot more cost effective because, like I said, the grocery store shelf dried stuff, you don't know how long it's been sitting there. You don't know what preservatives are in there to get it to sit on that shelf for that long, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like just like we have olive oil and canola oil and vegetable oil, I mean, this is in a different form. This is what that is. I mean, and I say different form because, I've never seen rosemary oil before until you brought it to the studio. So, I mean, even to me, this is new. And are you finding that this is new to a lot of people?
Yes. Yes, and people think, yeah, well, I find that people still think of it as an answer instead of it as to a preventative. So there's still, we need to shift the paradigm. Don't wait until you're sick. Don't wait until you need it. Take it ahead of time so that you don't ever get sick and you don't need it. Take it so that, do the preventative health things. And this is just one way. If you're already cooking, you're already using these things in your kitchen. It's just exciting to me when I think about all of the spices and things that people use in their Thanksgiving, a traditional Thanksgiving.
Right.
And all of that, if they swapped out the dried stuff for the essential oils, a shocking amount of health benefit and calming sedative effects.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing when you have the whole family together, right?
Right, and a lot of us work 40-hour weeks, and we go home, and there are times where we need the stress reliever. So I mean, it seems like finding the right oil for you would make sense in that relieve stress. I mean, there's other ways to relieve stress, obviously, but this may be one option for people who haven't found what relieves their stress.
Well, and this is one of those things too that you can take anywhere with you. If you find an oil that helps relieve your stress, or you find jogging relieves your stress, well, you can't always just drop everything and go jogging, but you can always diffuse your oil to help you de-stress, or to just carry it with you and take a whiff, or put it behind your ear, almost like a cologne, to help you be able to de-stress. You can always take that with you, and then you can go jogging later.
Yeah. I have to ask you this question. So when you put some of this oil on fresh, let's say you put it on and then you walk into the store, do you notice people smelling? I mean,
sometimes. But what I get more often, honestly, and I don't, this sounds nasty I don't know, this sounds egomaniac to say this, but the truth of the matter is that I get more people who want to say to me, "You're so calm. Do you have no stress in your life?" And the fact is, yes, I do have stresses in my life. I just have a way
to cope with that stress.
Exactly.
You have a show also that you do here at CMAC. Tell us about your show.
My show is to teach people about essential oils and to answer a lot of those questions like you asked about what exactly does rosemary do? What kind of properties does it have, and why would I use it? I also did another show about ancient oils and the history behind essential oils. And I did another show recently about energy work and about how it's a little, I like to call it a parlor trick, to demonstrate energy fields in people and kind of introduce them to that concept. A lot of us already have what's the word I'm looking for? Have an unconscious awareness of it, but I do this little parlor trick to kind of demonstrate visually so that people can see the energy fields.
And you mentioned your office. So when people come to your office, do you do sessions where you're putting oil on their neck or behind their ear or wherever you're putting the oil?
Absolutely. Depending on what your issue is, I could put oils pretty much wherever, anywhere on your body. I also do a thing called Raindrop Technique, which takes 9 therapeutic grade essential oils, rubs them on the VitaFlex points of your feet that correspond to your spine. So I do both feet and then do the 9 oils along your spine. and just rub those oils into your, and massage your back and massage those oils into your spine. Great detox thing, so relaxing. People just, I have to schedule extra time for that because people don't want to get up off the table. It's wonderful.
You mentioned detox a couple of times. What do you mean by detox? I mean, what are we detoxing?
Our bodies just naturally have things in them that they don't need, that are not essential. Some of it's just fluid that if you're not very active, that we just get, I mean, you know, there's stuff in there, right? And it's not all muscle and bones and veins. There's extra stuff. And if we get fluids and things and toxins from the air or from what we're eating or from what we're not eating, there are some foods that just naturally help flush things out of your body if you're not eating enough of those things, or if you're eating too many things that come in a box, or, you know, that box I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Very much so.
And just the toxins in the air. And those kinds of things we get into our body, and unfortunately for too many of us, they don't leave quickly enough. So those kinds of detox things, and like I said earlier, like any x-rays you've had or any kinds of radiation type things that, you know, your body has a very strong memory, and it can remember and hold some of these things in. The oils help flush all of that out.
Lastly, we're running out of time, but what are the people who you introduced these oils to, what are they telling you?
I want more. Really, they'll be like, okay, that one worked really good for this, so what oil should I use for that? You know, the other kinds of thing. And they kind of get into it the same way that I did. It's like, oh, I don't know for sure. Let me try one. And then they're coming back for more.
And is it can you tell the difference with one treatment, or does it take a couple of treatments?
It depends on what the problem is and how long you've had it.
On that note, we are out of time this week. Thank you so much for coming and introducing us to the different oils and their therapeutic benefits.
Well, thank you for having me.
That's all for this edition of San Joaquin Spotlight. To the volunteer crew that make this production and every production possible, thank you. We couldn't do this without you. To our audience members watching this broadcast on CMAC, AT&T, and Comcast, thank you for tuning in. To our radio listeners, the audio version of this program listening on 90.7 KFSR Fresno, thank you for tuning in. And thank you to our guest, Mary Gant Bell, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
That's all for this edition. Tune in next week for a new edition.